Okay, let's dive right in. Welcome to this explainer where we are going to break down one of the most historic, odds-defying triumphs in the history of American sports. We're looking at the 152nd Kentucky Derby, a race that didn't just crown a new champion, but completely rewrote the record books.
22. Now that number right there represents the 22 years of grueling, behind-the-scenes grit it took for trainer Cherie DeVaux to finally shatter a 152-year-old glass ceiling in the world of horse racing.
Section 1. Making Derby History, a 23-to-1 underdog's triumph.
So against monumental 23-to-1 odds, a horse named Golden Tempo crossed that finish line first, instantly making Cherie DeVaux the very first female trainer to ever win the Kentucky Derby. And to really grasp the sheer weight of that moment, consider this number: 152 years. I mean, in the entire century-and-a-half history of the Derby, out of thousands of entries, only 18 women had ever even saddled a horse for the race. Before DeVaux, the absolute closest anyone had come was Shelley Riley's runner-up finish with Casual Lies, and that was way back in 1992.
When faced with the roaring applause of over 100,000 fans at Churchill Downs, DeVaux's reaction was honestly one of humorous relief. She'd been absolutely hounded all week by the media about the possibility of becoming the first woman to win, and her response after pulling it off: "I'm just glad I don't have to answer that question anymore." It was this monumental victory, proving to little girls everywhere that they can dream huge and rewrite history.
Section 2. The Trailblazer's Journey, from exercise rider to champion.
To truly appreciate this victory, we have to look at DeVaux's backstory. Growing up tough, with 7 brothers and 2 sisters, absolutely built the resilience she needed to survive and thrive in what is an incredibly demanding, male-dominated industry. She definitely didn't start at the top. She worked in the stables for the late Chuck Simon, recalling, "I started my career here 22 years ago as a bright-eyed, bushy-tailed exercise rider." Back then, she freely admits she never in her life believed she'd one day be standing in the Derby winner's circle.
Walking through her timeline, you see this steady, relentless climb. Starting in 2004 as an exercise rider, she eventually spent the 2010s grinding as an assistant trainer for the highly successful Chad Brown. But by 2017, she was just burned out. She hit a crossroads. It was actually her husband who encouraged her to bet on herself, telling her she owed it to herself to try. So in 2018, she pivoted, got her trainer's license, and went solo. Fast forward to May 2026, and she makes absolute history.
Section 3. Overcoming pre-race challenges. Conditioning Golden Tempo.
Now, the road to the Derby wasn't just long for DeVaux personally. It was packed with intense physical and behavioral hurdles for her horse. Golden Tempo was kind of the ultimate underdog. Physically, he suffered from cracked heels leading up to the race, which is a major concern DeVaux had to carefully manage. Behaviorally, his own jockey described him as lazy. He lacked focus during training, which prompted DeVaux to actually fit him with blinkers, just to force him to pay attention. And then, add to that the chaotic pre-race environment. It was a seriously stressful week at Churchill Downs. There were 5 late scratches from the race. There was even a terrifying incident right before post time, where a horse named Great White flipped and threw his jockey. Thankfully without major injury, but still. All this chaos whittled the massive starting gate down to an 18-horse field.
Section 4. A tactical masterpiece, from worst to first.
Okay, here is where we break down the brilliant on-track execution by jockey Jose Ortiz. His strategy was an absolute masterclass in patience. Step 1. Ortiz actually let Golden Tempo fall all the way back to last place. Now, DeVaux noted that Golden Tempo naturally falls back anyway, but she completely trusted her horse's style, and Ortiz used it perfectly to save energy. Step 2. Wait for the far turn to start picking off horses one by one. And step 3, this was absolutely crucial, avoiding the traffic jam by choosing the wide, clear outside lane for that final explosive stretch. Just think about this number for a second. 17. That is exactly how many massive 1,000-pound thoroughbreds Jose Ortiz had to expertly navigate past to secure the lead, from dead last in an 18-horse field all the way to the front. It's like navigating a high-speed puzzle.
To put the tension into perspective, at the top of the final stretch, with just a quarter of a mile left in the entire race, Golden Tempo was still sitting way back in 13th place. Ortiz had only passed 6 horses and literally had a wall of 12 horses ahead of him. The timing had to be flawless.
Section 5. The Sibling Rivalry Finish. Brother versus brother.
So, as Ortiz makes his explosive move, he sets his sights on the leader, who just happened to be ridden by his own older brother, Jose Ortiz Jr. It was a clash of entirely opposite tactics. You had Jose on Golden Tempo, a 23-1 underdog charging down the outside lane using that worst-to-first strategy. And then you had a Rod riding Renegade, the 4-1 morning line favorite, hugging the inside post, trying to become the first horse to win from the inside gate in 40 years using a front-runner strategy.
And the result? Simply heart-stopping. Surging down the middle of the track, Golden Tempo blew past everyone on the outside. He caught Renegade in the absolute final strides to win by just a neck, crossing the wire in 2 minutes and 2.27 seconds. Just incredible, raw speed when it mattered most.
If you want to know how unexpected this was, just look at the payout data. A simple $2 win bet on Golden Tempo paid out a massive $48.24. Renegade and the 70-1 long shot Aselli rounded out the board, but bettors and the racing world were completely stunned by DeVaux and Ortiz's triumph.
But beyond the money and the tactics, there was profound emotion here. This was Jose Ortiz's 11th try at the Kentucky Derby. With his parents proudly watching from the stands, having literally just watched him win the Kentucky Oaks the day prior, Jose achieved his life's dream. He said, "I just wish my grandpa was here, but I know he's looking from heaven."
Section 6. The Legacy. What's next for the champions?
So what should we take away from all of this? Why does this matter? Because this triumph proves that no matter your background, your gender, or the odds stacked against you, strategic brilliance and sheer resilience can rewrite history. Cherie DeVaux didn't just win a race, she expanded the realm of what's possible in her sport. Which leaves us with one final exciting question. With the second leg of the Triple Crown, the Preakness Stakes, set for May 16th, will this historic duo attempt to conquer it? DeVaux says it's on the table, but she's going to let the horse decide, because for her, the horse always comes first. Will they pursue ultimate racing glory? We'll just have to watch and see. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and keep learning.